Hello. Welcome to this short presentation on how to translate a document with XLIFF Editor. First of all, we will start the XLIFF Editor. To open a file, we will simply click on the Start icon, select Open, and browse to find our document. By just opening it, we will see the document displayed within the editor. The file has now been converted to the XLIFF format. In the Editor tab, we see the translatable text separated in cells. And in the Preview Source tab, I can see the file in its original format. This file in specific was a doc file. So we all have very easy access to preview this sort of documents, but this preview would also be available for HTML documents, XML documents, and all Word files, Office, PowerPoint, and 2003 and 2007 files, as well as OpenOffice. This can give the translator a very easy way to compare the content that they are translating and the document where it would appear. To translate the document integrated with Multitrans, what we will do is establish a connection between the XLIFF Editor and Multitrans, and select the first segment and run the translation agent. Now, the translation agent is a search retrieval engine that is going to be comparing every segment to the text basis and to the term basis and propose results from either of the resources that it has. In this case, for the first sentence, we have 100% match, so I can simply accept it and replace. With the click of the Replace button, the translation is sent into the XLIFF Editor. In this second case, we also have 100% match, but because it's blue, I know that it's actually coming from my term base, where the whole term appears recorded in one of my glossaries. Again, I can continue and click on Replace and move on through my text. Another exact match, that means that the same sentence appears in the source document to translate and in one of the source documents in the text base. The next segment, it continues to be 100% match. Here, what I can show you is that for any match, we have access to the context, which is a window towards the text base, towards our collection of previously translated documents. So not only we can find the sentence and its translation, we can see in what document it appeared, and therefore find out about the context. Is it the same type of document that I am translating right now? I can hide the context at any time. Moving forward, in this case, I have a fuzzy match. Fuzzy match is a sentence where there is a certain difference from the text base and from the document that I've translated in the past. 93.75% is the rate of similarity between the two sentences. And the difference is highlighted in striking through green, which means that this word has been deleted. It existed in the context. So in the previous translation, we talked about the first human cases. In the new one, we only mentioned the first cases. So now I can say, for my new translation, I delete the part of the target sentence that I will not need, and I can click on Replace. The translation section of the translation agent is fully editable, so I can do any modification. I could refuse a translation altogether and start from scratch. So in here, I can type as if I was in Microsoft Word, for example. So this would be the interaction with the tool. If I had more than one option, I could choose which one I want to use. And I'm going to go through the text, replacing the matches as I find them. This segment where I stop now, it's a case where I don't find either a fuzzy or exact match, or either or of a fuzzy or an exact match. In this case, what I find is a sub-segment match. This is a match that contains certain pieces of the sentence that resemble the original segment, but all of them don't amount to a minimum percentage of similarity that I have set at 75%. So in my default settings, I established that any sentence that is below 75% similar to the sentence that I translate, I'm going to consider it a sub-segment. In this case, what I can do is decide whether these bits of text are interesting for me to translate. They may be key complex terms for which I can use some help. And then I can, if that is the case, I can double-click on the term that interests me, and I can get the text-based match for it. So in this case, Lassa fever, fièvre de Lassa. If that is the term I want to reuse, I can right-click, and I can insert it in the target segment. And I can do that for as many matches as I have, as long as I need the help of the tool. So if I say seasonal epidemics is highlighted in green, and I can see that the target is épidémie saisonnière. So what I do right now is place the cursor where I want to have it, select the text, right-click, and insert. So I would complete the translation of the document until I had a full sentence. So we have exact matches that are sentences that appear word by word exactly in the source and in the text-based fuzzy matches where there is a certain difference within the 75 to 100% match. And subsegment matches are every bit of text that repeats between 1% and 74%. These are the three different types of matches. From the text-based and from the term-based, I can get matches for a full segment that appears in the term-based or words within the term-based. So if I continue with my document, I see that in this case I have another fuzzy match, 94.4%. Not only I have the difference in striking through green, that is a deletion, but I also have a word in red. Red color indicates an insertion, so here I can see that rapidly has been replaced by quickly. So I could translate a sentence, modifying slightly my translation in case that it's needed, and continue with my text. Another case of subsegment matches. So all these three sections are found in the text base and in my term, in my source term text. So if I compose my translation with the different matches that I want, d'autres maladies infectieuses émergentes, and I can continue my translation. I'm going to reach the end of the document. I can hit replace for the last sentence, and I can close the translation agent. At this point, I have a first version of the document where I have extracted all the information I can from the system. Now, what we could do is preview the source and the target, which is going to allow us to see not only the source document, but the target document final format side by side and judge whether everything is looking okay. So I can always zoom in, zoom out, and browse through the different pages if I had a longer document. What I can also do from the editor is to review the quality of the document, and there's certain checks I can carry out. First of all, I can use filters. I can get all the fuzzy, all the exact matches at once and do a first verification of those. These are matches that have been reviewed in the past. They come exactly from texts that have been translated, so they should be more reliable. Or fuzzy matches are sentences where there would be a difference. What I can also do is check out for missing tags. So in this sentence, there's a tag that is missing, so I could transfer it. I will show how to transfer it in a second. What I want to show you is that not only we can choose to apply certain filters and see the segments filtered by that way, or I can also create a live validation. So if I want to check for invalid terminology, missing numbers, parentheses, tags, or segments that don't have translation, I can activate this validation report, and whenever I get a green check mark, it means everything is fine. Whenever I get the red exclamation mark, something is amiss, and I hover over it and it's telling me it's missing a tag. So in this case, I can just simply decide where I want to put my tag, and then just with a right click say insert a tag, or I would have also the shortcut Alt and the number of the tag to insert it. So this is a way of checking where the quality of your translation. In this case, I have a case of invalid terminology. Outbreak is a term that appears in the term base, but the translation recorded in the term base is not the one that I have in the translation here. So I could open, again, the translation agent and verify what is the term that is proposed by the term base. The validation report is a similar case, similar usage of the validation tool. Instead of giving you the results live and interactively, what it does is it creates a report. So now when I do a report, I could get a summary of all the sentences where there is a problem. I can see that it is the same as I had with the live validation. Now there's just one, the case of the outbreak. When I have the report open, just by clicking on the sentence, my sentence becomes active, and I could fix it right away without needing to change to close the report. So these are the different options to check the quality of our document. Once the document is going to be finalized, what we will want to do is to save it back to a Word format, because we have converted into an XLIFF format just for the purpose of translation. To export my work into Word file format, all I'm going to do is click on the Start icon and select Export Target. It's going to propose to save it at the same location where I had my document with the FRA extension for French. And I can say simply enregistrer. That's going to save the document. And I can go locate it in my folder. And here it is. We have the document exported in its original format. It has preserved the formatting of the document, as well as the images, the font, everything exactly as in the original file. Now, finally, what I would like to mention to you is that this process that we have done manually within the XLIFF Editor can be fully automated while using the Flow Multitrans Prism Flow tool. Basically, a new document would be received for translation, and a machine task would be programmed to take the document, analyze it, and after having calculated the percentage of repetitions, do a pre-translation against a set of predetermined text spaces. Once we would have that done, what we would obtain is directly an XLIFF file that I could show you. It would be like the same type of file, just with the extension XLF. And it would have the color coding to indicate whether it's an exact match or a fuzzy match. We also see the percentages right next to the codes to know whether it's a text-based match at 100%. This is a term-based match. When it's fuzzy, we see that it's a fuzzy match. We see the coding for the invalid terminology. There is a placeable, that's a number that has been replaced automatically. And what we see here in the yellow and the red highlights are subsegment matches. So in here, the tool did not replace this text. It's up to the translator to select it, but it indicates us right away that we have this segment. So this document you could obtain it automatically by using the Flow pre-translation option. So this is all for today. I just wanted to show you the treatment of a document with an XLIFF editor and the possibility to automate it with Flow. Thank you very much.